Welcome back to the Songwriting with Guitars in the Classroom series. I'm Jess, and I'd like to share with you some ideas for how to take apart a song and turn it into something new and usable in the classroom to teach any lesson. The song that we're going to be playing with next is called Row, Row, Row Your Boat, and I'll bet you know it. One of the beautiful things about working with this song is there are no chord changes unless you want them. Kids can just strum down over the open chord on their ukulele. You can just strum your uke or your guitar. And there is a potential change if you want it over the last merrily. You could put your finger on right there, but then it comes off on the word dream. So everything is off except the last merrily. And life is but a, and then it comes off again. Or you could just strum down with no chord changes. It is a round, which also means that once your kids have written something effective that they like, they can sing it in parts and overlap those parts, and it'll sound terrific. And we'll even be able to model around for you in a different video in the series. So let's look at the parts of speech. This is one of these types of songwriting activities where you can choose what kind of part of speech you want the kids to substitute, or you may want them to substitute a whole idea. So if we want to take apart the verb and substitute another verb, we can have the kids read the lyric, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream, merrily, 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 life is but a dream, and find the verbs. And I've underlined them in blue. If we'd like the kids to replace the nouns, they have to identify them. So you're teaching what is a noun. And here it is, a person, place, or a thing. Boat, stream, life, and dream. You can even use this activity to teach prepositional phrases and have the kids identify that. And you can also use it for rhyming because we have an A, B, C, B rhyme scheme here. The B lines rhyme. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we're in kindergarten and we want to rewrite this for the transportation unit. Boats, planes, cars, trains, and aeroplanes, and everything else. So let's say that you guys have been studying different ways that people can get around, and maybe you even have skateboards and surfboards and paragliders and all that stuff in there. Well, you're going to choose something, right? The child is going to decide what are they going to be moving in besides a boat. So maybe your student raises her hand and she says, I want to take a train. Okay, then we have to find a verb that fits with this noun train. What is an action word we have that works with the train? Oh, well, let's see. Well, that depends on who you are. Now, if you're the conductor, if you're the engineer, you might be driving the train. But if you're a passenger, you might be riding the train. So now we're using critical thinking with the kids. And we say, so who are you? Are you in charge of the train? Or are you riding on the train? Oh, I'm a passenger. I just want to ride the train. So we're going to fill it in. Ride, ride, ride your train. Verb, 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 noun. Oh, okay, so where is the train going? The boat was going gently down the stream. That was going on the stream. So where's the train going? Well, is it a real train or is it an imaginary train? Is it the train in the Christmas story about the express, or is it a real train? Oh, it's a real train, and it goes on the... Now, see, we're getting good vocabulary in here. It's going, somehow it's related to those tracks. So now we have to teach about a prepositional phrase. So is it under the tracks? Is it over the tracks? Oh no, it's going down the tracks. Oh, look, it's the same one. Or maybe we could say on the tracks. So let's try on the. There's a different prepositional phrase. How is the train going? Now we've got an adverb. We've got an ly word. So you could even use this if you're teaching parts of speech in grades 4 or 5. So let's just say this is a train that's going down some pretty old tracks that haven't been very well maintained. What would that feel like? Oh, it could be going bumpily on the tracks. Or what if we're riding the bullet train and it would be swiftly on the tracks? So let's make it quickly. Maybe this is a train that's going very fast. So now we're developing rich vocabulary with gently and quickly. So now we know we've got our rhyme line right here. And we're going to have to finish the song with something that rhymes with tracks. But right here, isn't this interesting? We've got another opportunity to say an adverb 4 times. So now we can do something like a synonym. So we could say, well, what's a word that means the same thing as quickly, but it's a different word? Well, what would that be? This is a chance for you to teach the word swiftly. And the kids are going to sing it 4 times. So I'm just going to say it times 4 here. So let's see what we've got so far, and then maybe we'll figure out how to finish that verse. Ride, ride, ride your train quickly on the tracks. Swiftly, 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 la, 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 la. So, now we come down to our idea bank and we go, what is a word, guys, that sounds like tracks? And you're going to take every idea and fill up that word bank, even if the words are nonsense. And we know a lot of times kids will just make up crazy words, and they're lots of fun. And we don't have to say that's not a real word. We can actually ask the kids to decide what's a real word and what's a pretend word. So let's say that somebody's been eating yogurt and granola with flax. They might say flax. And then maybe somebody's going to make up a silly word like specs. And then somebody else is going to say, hey, that reminds me of slacks. Oh, okay. Well, does that make sense? Slacks and tracks? Now, your most creative child is going to go, don't run over the slacks. And everybody else is going to go, what? And he'll say, somebody left their pants on the tracks. And then you might go, great idea. Does it make sense? So you might want to use it and just be having a great time and teaching rhyming, or you might want to go for something that makes a little bit more sense. Now, do you have to use a perfect rhyme? No, you do not. You can use a near rhyme, or you can even use a rhyme that just has the same 2 or 3 sounds in it. So maybe we'll say, never coming back. Well, that does make sense, doesn't it? So let's try that. This is where it gets interesting. We have a workable verse, but then your junior editors are going to crop up and they're going to say, no, I don't like that message. I want the train to come back. And then you'll work it from there. So let's try this together. We're going to go strum, 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 strum on your open C. Ride, ride, ride your train quickly on the tracks. Swiftly, 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 never coming back. And then somebody will say, but I want to come back. Oh, okay. Then some other child will say, oh, let's get rid of never and change it to then we're coming back. Oh boy, now we've got a round trip. Well, this could go off into this imaginary trip that everybody's going to take on a train that's round trip, or a discussion of when was there a time you rode a train. And now we've got fodder for writing a story. So I hope this has shown you can simply look for parts of speech, swap them out by topic, and then see where this takes the group. Because before you know it, you could be making a train mural in your classroom, or you could be collecting poems about trains or songs about trains, or maybe somebody even has a parent or a grandparent that works for the railroad, and now you're into a new unit. Songwriting opens up all kinds of new learning. Stay with us for more.